Right, here I am. Now, I no longer work for Navitas in terms of they don't sponsor the podcast. They don't. I'm friends with Will, obviously, and I'm always going to be friends with Navitas because I love them. I love everyone there. They've always been good to me, and they actually make a really good product, which is rare. Because at the moment, I had this job coming yesterday, last minute job, to do a fuse board change. They've been umming and ahhing about it for a while. Should have got a Navitas board in, prepped, ready to do it, but I didn't. So I had to go and get a fuse block. I call them fuse block because they annoy me. A fuse block fuse board, yeah. And they're just as annoying as the Illusium fuse boards. Now, if you remember, or if you watch the podcast, I have moaned about the Illusium fuse board from Skolmore because you have to use two different size screwdrivers. PZ1 for the holes in RCBOs and a PZ2 for the rest of it. Madness, I tell you. So, on the fuse block, 12-way, it's fine. It's a good board. To be honest with you, one of the other things that really pisses me off is how hard it is to get the knockouts out. I had to channel my inner Eddie Hall to get the knockouts out, and I haven't got time for that, especially first thing in the morning. I'm too miserable, way too miserable to be dealing with that. And this is where Navitas really excel, and they really do. They really excel at this. Like even their knockouts, and this ain't an ad for them. This is me feeling sad that I haven't got a Navitas fuse board and I'm using this. It's because like the knockouts in the Navitas, unbelievable. They just pop out. They're not like, you can't pop them out with your finger, but one nice strike, boom, they pop out. These, so it's a nightmare. Everything inside them has been thought out well. You can use one screwdriver to do them all. They're nicely laid out. It's a nice colour. Like the Illusian is like some old person's smoking house beige. I don't like the colour of it, and I don't like the RCBOs. And it's just like an installer's product. That's where I think a lot of these places go wrong. They don't think what would be best for the installer. Like at the end of the day, no one, and I mean not one person, gives a shit about their fuse board outside. Like no customer thinks, oh yeah, I want this brand. Well, there might be some, let's be honest. There's always one bod that needs to have like a certain brand, like a Hague or something, because that's all they know. But at the end of the day, the fuse boards should be manufactured just to please the installers, because at the end of the day, and 99% of the time, we sort of dictate what fuse boards go in. We have a preferred brand, and we end up using them 99% of the time. I think that's fair to say. And Navitas have done what no one else can do. They've actually listened to the installers. They've designed a fuse board that not only looks good, installs really well. Okay, so to install a Navitas board, they're a piece of cake. The lid goes on lovely, all that sort of stuff. It's just a nice experience installing a Navitas. And I'm not saying installing this fuse block is horrible, but it's more difficult than it needs to be. It does not need to be like this ultimate strength challenge to get out the knockouts. It doesn't need to be like, I don't need to have like an IQ puzzle on what screwdriver to use to undo them, like to tighten them up. I ain't got time in my life for this. It's a Saturday morning. I want to get in, get out, and have my cake and eat it. Really, that's the only thing you want to do on a Saturday morning. You do not want to be pissing about, channeling your inner Eddie Hall to get the bloody knockouts out. I just don't want to do it. And this whole point of this video is I'm sad that I don't have a Navitas fuse board to install. I'm using a fuse box. Now, here's the other thing. When fuse box first come about, I don't know if you know the story of this, but this is the story. Because I used to talk, I can't remember his name. I'm really bad with names. I'm sorry. The guy who invented fuse box was was he's a Scottish geezer. He used to work for Luton. So he knew the game inside and out. And he left Luton and he thought, do you know what? I could do that. I could make a fuse board. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to call it fuse box, because that's what everyone really calls it. And I'm going to use pink as my colour because it stands out. And I'm going to make it cheap. But I'm not going to make it shit. I'm going to make it cheap and nice. And that is what he done. And that is what disrupted the consumer unit industry for our industry. That is really the major disruptor, and why we get good priced fuse boards. But obviously Fusebox was bought by Robus, and Robus obviously paid out a lot of money for Fusebox. I don't know how much it was. I wish I did know. It's probably public knowledge. Like, whoever that guy is, I can't remember his name, he probably got paid out nice. He's probably got his own island somewhere. And fair play to him. He had the balls to disrupt the industry, and he went out and he done it. And he absolutely killed it. Now, what you have is the rest of the industry trying to catch up. So we've got Lucian, you've got Lucian who coming out with their board, which I've already said about. You've got Hager, they're always the market leaders. Now Hager in Electric Centre are doing a 12-way board with SPD and 8. Why is this? This is what I mean. They're doing a fuse board with 8 RCBOs and SPD for £190. Now that is really not bad considering it's Hager, right? So Hager's probably the numero uno brand name, isn't it? And they're trying to catch up because they've had to lower their prices, because I bet their market share of fuse boards went through the floor over the last couple of years. It must have done. So that is, and then obviously you've got Navitas, who jumped on that bandwagon as well. They was like, right, well, we all know the story of Navitas. So Navitas used to be, so Navitas is owned by Will, and he used to work for a company called Verso. Well, Premspec. Anyway, they owned Verso. So what they decided to do was to do the same sort of template as Fusebox. Make good quality fuse boards for a reasonable price. So when Premspec couldn't do that and the Verso fuse boards died, Will decided to go out on his own, do the same thing again. And he absolutely has done something that no one else has done. He listened to installers and made the fuse board easy to install. Now, I know this because I've installed many fuse boards, as have you guys. And I know that the Navitas fuse board is just easier to install than the Fusebox, than the Lucian, mind you, I haven't installed a Hager for a long time, maybe 10 years. Even if I had Schneider do a beautiful fuse board, that is very lovely, but you're paying them Schneider prices. And them Schneider prices is enough to bankrupt anyone. And is it that much more expensive than a Navitas? Well, it's much more expensive than a Navitas, but does the price match the more quality? Because I don't think there is that much in it. What's that one? That's that one. That's that one. That's the long away one. So I don't know what I'm saying really. What I'm doing is giving you a little history of the fuse board wars. Now you've got other brands out there that do nice fuse boards. You've got one with a light in, I can't, CPM or something I think they're called. You've got BG, we was laughing about BG today in the wholesalers. The wholesaler said, yeah, well they are DIY boards. And I looked at him and I went, that shouldn't be a thing, bro. Anyway, the biggest problem with the BG boards, one is quality, and two, and probably the biggest problem for an installer, is getting that epoxy lid on. I've installed BG boards before, and getting that lid on is probably the hardest job known to man. It really is. What I'm saying is, if you want a decent board and you don't want to piss around, just go for Navitas. I know they're a pain to get hold of, hence why I'm fitting a fuse box. But if you've got the money, stock up on them. And if not, they're next day delivery. I don't know why I'm doing this advert. I'm not even getting paid. Navitas are better.